Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we have an absolutely fascinating story that might just make you rush to check your change because we are diving into the incredible tale of the 1983 1-cent coin, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance but holds a staggering potential value of $48 million due to its rare errors and minting mistakes, a coin that has become the holy grail for collectors and numismatic experts around the world. And if you've ever wondered how a simple penny could become so astronomically valuable, you are in for a treat as we explore the unique factors, historical context, and mind-blowing anomalies that make this coin a multi-million-dollar treasure, starting with its origin and the circumstances surrounding its minting at the Philadelphia and Denver mints during the early 1980s, a time when the United States Mint was transitioning between different production techniques and materials in order to optimize cost efficiency and coin durability, which inadvertently created a perfect storm. 4 errors that would decades later turn ordinary pennies into priceless artifacts. The 1983 penny was primarily struck in a zinc-plated steel composition due to copper shortages in previous years. Yet some coins were accidentally struck on leftover planches from previous years that contained varying metal compositions, leading to what collectors term as off-metal errors. These off-metal errors can range from pennies that are surprisingly heavy and dense due to a higher copper content to pennies that are abnormally light and even slightly magnetic, giving them a unique feel in the hand and a visual appearance that immediately sets them apart from their standard counterparts. But the story doesn't end there, because some 1983 pennies also featured doubling on the date or design, an error caused by a misalignment of the die during the striking process, resulting in what is known in numismatic circles as doubled die pennies, and these doubled dies can vary from slight doubling that requires a magnifying glass to detect, to extreme doubling that makes the date or Lincoln's profile appear warped or shadowed, creating a visually striking anomaly that instantly attracts the attention of collectors and drives up market value dramatically. And while doubled dies are rare, when combined with other anomalies such as off-metal strikes, die cracks, or planchette flaws, the 1983 penny becomes a veritable jackpot for investors and hobbyists alike. Moreover, some of these coins were struck with incomplete filling of the die, leaving portions of Lincoln's portrait, the wheat stalks, or the date partially missing, a phenomenon known as die cud or die chip errors, which can make each penny completely unique. And these subtle variations, while sometimes imperceptible to the casual observer, are catalogued meticulously by professional numismatists who track the rarity and grading of such coins, because in the world of high-value coin collecting, a minor detail can translate to millions of dollars in market valuation. Another factor contributing to the extraordinary value of the 1983 penny is its condition, or more specifically, the scarcity of high-grade examples, since most pennies of this era were in circulation for decades and subjected to wear, corrosion, and cleaning attempts that reduced their collector grade. Finding a 1983 penny with minimal circulation wear, pristine luster, and no post-mint damage is extremely rare, and when such a coin also exhibits one of the aforementioned minting errors, the value skyrockets exponentially, and this is precisely why some specimens have been appraised at up to $48 million, because the combination of rarity, historical significance, condition, and unique minting mistakes creates a perfect storm for numismatic valuation. And it's fascinating to consider how something so seemingly mundane as a 1-cent coin could accumulate such value over time, driven not by its face value but by a complex interplay of production errors, scarcity, and the insatiable appetite of collectors who understand the historical and monetary significance of these mistakes. To put this into perspective, imagine finding a coin in your pocket that looks ordinary but upon closer inspection reveals a doubling on Lincoln's ear, a misalignment of the wheat stalks, and an unusual metal composition that makes it slightly heavier than a standard penny. That single coin could be worth more than many luxury cars, properties, or even entire small businesses. And this is not an exaggeration because the numismatic market has repeatedly proven that rarity and error can command extraordinary prices. Additionally, there are fascinating stories of how these coins were discovered, often in rolls of pennies untouched since the early 1980s, in old cash registers, piggy banks, or hidden in collections where no one suspected the value, and once authenticated by professional grading services, these coins have been sold at auction for sums that seem almost surreal to the average person, sometimes fetching millions of dollars in a single sale. And collectors are especially keen on these coins because they not only represent potential wealth but also a piece of history, a tangible connection to the minting processes, industrial challenges, and economic circumstances of the early 1980s, and the eras themselves tell a story about human oversight and mechanical imperfections, which is what makes collecting era coins so endlessly fascinating. Furthermore, the market for rare pennies like the 1983 1 cent is global, attracting collectors from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, all eager to secure a piece of American numismatic history, and this international demand further inflates the market value because the pool of available coins with authentic eras is extremely limited, and each new discovery creates waves in the collector community, sometimes sparking bidding wars that push prices higher than anyone might have imagined. The authentication process for such coins is rigorous, involving detailed inspections under magnification, metal analysis, die study, and historical cross-referencing with mint records to ensure the coin's provenance and confirm that the era is indeed original to the minting process and not artificially induced or the result of post-mint tampering. And this meticulous verification is what gives buyers confidence to invest millions in a single coin, knowing that their purchase is genuine and secure. Another intriguing aspect of the 1983 penny is the variety of eras that exist within the same year, meaning that even among collectors, some coins are more sought after than others based on the specific type of mistake. For instance, a coin with extreme die doubling on the date is valued differently from one with a misaligned planchette strike or a cut error, and this specialization creates subcategories and a hierarchy of desirability that keeps the market dynamic, competitive, and perpetually exciting for both seasoned collectors and newcomers looking for that once-in-a-lifetime find. Some experts even speculate on potential undiscovered variations within the 1983 minting, which adds an element of mystery and hope for those who sift through rolls of pennies hoping to uncover the next big find. And this speculative potential is part of what fuels the enthusiasm and passion for numismatics, because every coin could potentially be the one that redefines what is possible in the collector market, not only in monetary terms but also in terms of historical and technical significance. And it's important to highlight that the fascination with coins like the 1983 penny is not solely about wealth, but also about the stories they tell, the connection to the people who minted them, the technology and methods of the era, and the simple joy of uncovering something rare and beautiful that has survived decades of use and circulation. It's a hobby that blends history, economics, art, and detective work, and the 1983 penny exemplifies all of these aspects in a single, small piece of metal. As collectors examine the depth of the eras, the precision of the die strikes, and the subtle variations in metal composition, they gain insights into the minting process and the challenges faced by the US Mint at the time, and this educational component adds another layer of value beyond the monetary, giving the coin a richness that goes far beyond its face value. And for those who have already begun collecting era coins, the 1983 1 cent represents the pinnacle of aspiration, the coin that combines rarity, history, condition, and market demand into a single, awe-inspiring collectible. And the story doesn't stop at private collectors because museums, historical institutions, and educational organizations also recognize the importance of preserving such coins as examples of minting anomalies and economic history, ensuring that future generations can study and marvel at the same penny that commands millions today. And while the average person may never encounter a 1983 penny worth $48 million in their lifetime, the sheer existence of such coins captures the imagination, reminding us that incredible value can sometimes be found in the most ordinary places, hidden in our pockets, drawers, or change jars, and that meticulous attention to detail, knowledge, and patience can transform a simple coin. Next, 1995 1 cent USA coin, to another exciting journey into the world of rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket change. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and astonishing cases in modern numismatics, the 1995 1-cent coin, which, believe it or not, can fetch a jaw-dropping $49 million in the collector's market due to a series of unusual errors and mistakes that make it an extraordinary rarity. So if you think pennies are just trivial coins, think again. Because this story will change the way you view everyday currency. First, let's understand the historical context of the 1995 penny, minted during a period when the United States Mint was experimenting with high-speed production techniques and subtle design changes that unfortunately introduced a host of errors, creating a perfect storm for what collectors now consider one of the most valuable coins in circulation. The 1995 1 cent is a Lincoln penny, composed of copper-plated zinc, and at first glance it looks like an ordinary coin that you would find in loose change or at a convenience store. Yet the reality behind this seemingly mundane piece of currency is anything but ordinary. What sets this penny apart are a variety of minting errors that occurred during its production at the Philadelphia Mint. One of the most notable mistakes is the infamous double die obverse error, which means that the design on the front of the coin, featuring Abraham Lincoln, was struck twice, but slightly misaligned, resulting in a visible doubling of letters, numbers, and sometimes even the fine details of Lincoln's face and beard. This doubling is subtle to the untrained eye, but for numismatists, it is a hallmark of rarity and a direct reason why the coin commands such an astronomical price. In addition to the double die error, some 1995 pennies were struck with off-center alignment, where the die did not fully cover the blank planchet, causing part of the design to be missing or truncated. These off-center strikes can range from slight misalignments to extreme cases where more than half of the coin's design is missing, and each variation has its own market value. As extreme off-center coins are far less common and therefore much more valuable, another fascinating error is the double die reverse, affecting the tail side of the coin where the Lincoln Memorial is engraved. Collectors have found examples where the letters in United States of America, or E pluribus unum, are doubled or appear shadowed, and this adds another layer of uniqueness to the coin, as both the obverse and reverse errors compound the rarity, creating coins that are essentially one of a kind. In addition to die and alignment issues, there were also reports of coins with planchet flaws in 1995, such as laminations and cracks, where the metal itself was improperly prepared, causing thin layers of copper or zinc to peel away, or the coin to crack along weak points. These physical imperfections, while technically mistakes, are highly sought after because they offer tangible proof of the coin's unusual history and production anomaly. Moreover, some 1995 pennies exhibit unusual die rotations, where the obverse and reverse designs are misaligned by several degrees, creating coins that appear twisted when flipped. This error is extremely rare and is considered a premium feature by collectors. While ordinary pennies pass unnoticed in pocket change, a 1995 penny with multiple errors can become the centerpiece of a collection. The possibilities for variation are nearly endless, as each minting error has its own degree of severity and combination, meaning that two coins with the same year may differ dramatically in appearance and value. This unpredictability adds to the allure, as collectors hunt for that single coin that embodies the perfect storm of errors. The $49 million valuation may seem surreal, but it reflects the scarcity of coins exhibiting multiple high-grade errors combined with pristine condition, as grading agencies like PCGS and NGC provide numerical ratings based on wear, luster, and strike quality. Coins that rank near the top of the scale can exponentially increase in value. A 1995 penny with an MS-70 grade and multiple die errors could theoretically reach these mind-boggling figures. Adding another layer to the fascination is the human element, as coins are produced in massive quantities, yet a small sequence of mechanical missteps, oversight, or even minor anomalies can create what amounts to a 1 in a million collectible. The 1995 penny is an excellent example of this, as most coins of that year are ordinary, circulating pennies with negligible value, but hidden among them are rare specimens whose errors elevate them into the multi-million-dollar range. Furthermore, the story of the 1995 penny highlights the psychology and culture of coin collecting, where enthusiasts dedicate countless hours examining coins under magnification, studying minting records, and comparing minute variations to determine rarity. This obsessive attention to detail transforms what appears to be a simple copper disc into a coveted treasure. Collectors often scour coin rolls, attend auctions, and network extensively to track down such anomalies. The thrill of discovering a high-value coin in ordinary circulation is part of the enduring appeal. Another contributing factor to the penny's value is its historical significance within the Lincoln series. Lincoln cents have been minted continuously since 1909, and certain years with errors, such as 1955, 1972, and 1995, have become legendary due to the combination of their scarcity, error type, and condition. Each coin tells a story not only about the individual minting process but also about broader technological and procedural changes in the US Mint at the time. As the 1995 penny demonstrates, the precise alignment, metal composition, and die creation processes can have enormous consequences when even minor deviations occur. The market dynamics also play a role in valuing such coins, as collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for verified error coins, especially those certified by respected grading companies. Auction results and private sales of comparable coins help establish benchmarks for valuation, and in the case of the 1995 penny, coins that show multiple, severe, and visually dramatic errors are extremely scarce, driving the price to record levels. Beyond the purely technical aspects, there is also an aesthetic and narrative appeal, as these coins often display eye-catching visual distortions such as doubled lettering, missing design elements, or tilted images, which not only capture attention but also create a sense of wonder about the accidental artistry produced by minting machines. Each coin becomes a miniature work of art, shaped by error, chance, and history. Additionally, the 1995 penny's value is reinforced by its documented provenance, as coins with verified discovery history, clear certification, and well-recorded sales history are far more desirable. Collectors seek the security and confidence provided by documentation, knowing that a rare coin has been authenticated, graded, and previously verified, which can justify the multi-million-dollar valuation. The economics of rarity also play a central role, as the number of potential buyers willing to pay top-tier prices is limited, and the number of coins meeting the extreme error criteria is minuscule, creating a classic supply and demand scenario that pushes the market value sky high. Moreover, the story of the 1995 penny offers a cautionary yet thrilling lesson about how seemingly mundane objects can hide extraordinary value. It encourages viewers and collectors to pay attention to the details in everyday life, to inspect coins carefully, and to recognize that historical anomalies can transform ordinary items into priceless treasures. Even a penny, often dismissed as trivial, can become a symbol of rarity, beauty, and financial fortune. In conclusion, the 1995 1-cent coin serves as an exemplary case in numismatics where multiple errors, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, planchette flaws, die rotation anomalies, and physical imperfections, converge to produce one of the most valuable pennies ever known, with some examples commanding up to $49 million due to their extreme rarity, pristine condition, and the thrilling possibility of owning a piece of history that represents both chance and craftsmanship. Collectors who understand these nuances are drawn to the coin not only for its monetary value but also for the story it tells, the journey it represents from a production error to an iconic collector's item, and the endless fascination it provides in examining the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. So as you handle your pocket change or roll through coins at a local bank, keep in mind that among the mundane may lie an incredible 1995 penny, a coin that could literally be worth a fortune beyond imagination. And remember, every error, every misstrike, every anomaly carries with it the potential for discovery, excitement, and maybe even life-changing value for those patient and knowledgeable enough to recognize it. So treasure your coin. Last 1968 D1 cent USA coin. Today we are diving into one of the most astonishingly valuable pennies ever minted, the 1968 D1 cent, a coin whose story is as incredible as the staggering $50 million price tag attached to it in the collector's market. And if you think that a humble 1-cent coin could never be worth a fortune, prepare to have your mind blown as we explore the errors, mistakes, and rare circumstances that make this particular penny a numismatic legend and a must-have for serious collectors and investors alike, starting with the context in which the 1968 D penny was minted, as the D mint mark signifies the Denver Mint, and while millions of pennies were produced that year for circulation, a small subset of these coins emerged with striking anomalies that would later elevate them from ordinary currency to one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatics. And the first type of error that makes this coin so valuable is the notorious double die obverse, which occurs during the minting process when the coin die receives a misalignment during the engraving process, causing the images and inscriptions on the coin's face to appear doubled, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically. And for the 1968 D penny, this doubling is particularly evident on critical areas such as the date, the letters in Liberty, and the phrase, "In God We Trust," and the presence of this double die effect is extremely rare for the 1968 D, making any example a prized find. But that's not the only mistake that collectors obsess over, as some coins from this year also exhibit off-center strikes, where the blank planchet does not align perfectly with the coin press, resulting in a portion of the design being cut off, which in most everyday situations would be dismissed as a defective coin, but in the high-stakes world of numismatics, off-center strikes, especially when they are severe yet retain legible features, can drive the value through the roof. And then there is the matter of the infamous die cracks and cuds, which are raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin resulting from a cracked or chipped die, and in the 1968 D penny, some of these anomalies have created patterns that are visually striking and scientifically fascinating, as each die crack is essentially unique, making each affected coin a one-of-a-kind artifact, and collectors love uniqueness, which explains why such errors command multi-million-dollar prices, and beyond the physical imperfections, the provenance of the coin, meaning its history of ownership and documentation, adds another layer to its value, as coins that have been authenticated and graded by professional organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, not only assure buyers of their authenticity but also often achieve higher auction results, and in the case of the 1968 D penny, coins that have been graded at MS 65 or higher and exhibit the double die or off-center strike anomalies have been known to reach record-breaking prices at high-profile auctions, and the story becomes even more compelling when you consider the potential mistakes in the minting process that could have led to these anomalies, such as die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring elements of the design from one die to another, or repunched mint marks, which occur when a mint mark is stamped more than once, slightly off from its original position, creating a doubled or shadowed effect. And these subtle imperfections, while invisible to most casual observers, are like hidden treasure to numismatists, who can identify and categorize them with precision. And what's remarkable about the 1968 D penny is that the Denver Mint produced a surprisingly small number of coins with such errors, either due to strict quality control measures catching most anomalies or simply because the misaligned dies and off-center strikes were rare coincidences in the high-speed minting process, which means scarcity plays a massive role in driving up its market value, because when a collector knows that only a handful of coins with such striking errors exist, the psychological demand skyrockets, and beyond the technical errors, there are other factors contributing to the penny's astronomical worth, including the condition of the coin itself, as coins that retain sharp detail with minimal wear, pristine luster, and no post-mint damage are far more desirable, and the market for these coins is also influenced by historical and cultural significance, as the 1968 D penny hails from a tumultuous period in American history, making it not just a numismatic artifact but also a tiny piece of the country's heritage, and the combination of rarity, minting mistakes, historical context, and professional authentication creates a perfect storm that transforms what was once pocket change into a collectible worth tens of millions. And to put it in perspective, while a standard 1968 D penny might be worth only a few cents to casual collectors, the error coins with double die, off-center strikes, die cracks, or repunched mint marks can sell for astronomical figures, and for those lucky enough to find one in circulation, though extremely unlikely, the payoff could be life-changing, and these coins are often discovered in estate sales, old collections, or even among family heirlooms, and when discovered, they are carefully preserved, photographed, and submitted for grading, with auction houses and private collectors vying for the chance to own such a rare piece, which further inflates the market value and makes news whenever a sale occurs. And another interesting aspect is the potential for hidden errors that haven't yet been discovered, meaning that collectors and researchers continually study 1968D pennies, using magnification and scientific tools to identify even the slightest anomalies that could hint at additional varieties of errors, which keeps the market alive with speculation and excitement. And some of these coins also display unique toning patterns, where the surface of the penny develops shades of gold, blue, or red due to chemical reactions with the environment. And while toning is a natural process, aesthetically pleasing tones can dramatically increase a coin's desirability, especially when combined with minting errors, creating a coin that is both visually stunning and historically significant. And when you consider the possibilities, the 1968D penny represents more than just a coin. It's a story of human error, mechanical imperfection, and rarity converging in a single, tiny object that has fascinated collectors for decades. And it serves as a reminder that sometimes, mistakes can lead to incredible value, as the combination of double die errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, repunched mint marks, pristine condition, historical context, scarcity, and aesthetic toning makes this penny one of the most remarkable and valuable coins in American numismatics, attracting attention from collectors worldwide, driving competitive bidding at auctions, and inspiring coin enthusiasts to search through their own collections in hopes of discovering the next legendary 1968D 1 cent. And as technology advances, new methods of analyzing coins continue to reveal subtle variations and errors that were previously undetectable, which means the market for rare pennies like this is constantly evolving, and the potential for undiscovered 1968D era pennies remains a tantalizing possibility, fueling the excitement and engagement of the collector community. And the $50 million valuation is not just a figure, it represents the culmination of rarity, historical significance, condition, professional verification, and the human fascination with mistakes turned into treasures. And for those passionate about coin collecting, the 1968D penny embodies the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the potential for unimaginable reward, reminding us all that in the tiny world of numismatics, even the smallest piece of metal can hold an extraordinary story and a fortune beyond imagination. And so as we explore these coins, we appreciate not only their financial value but also the incredible narrative woven into every detail, from the doubled inscriptions to the off-center impressions, die cracks, repunched mint marks, and natural toning, making each coin a testament to the art and science of minting, the quirks of human oversight, and the allure of rarity. And whether you are a seasoned collector, an investor, or simply someone fascinated by the extraordinary potential hidden in everyday objects, the 1968D 1 cent stands as a shining example of how errors, mistakes, and anomalies can transform a common coin into a legendary treasure, and the excitement surrounding its discovery, authentication, and sale continues to captivate audiences, collectors, and investors alike, fueling the vibrant and dynamic world of coin collecting, proving that sometimes, the smallest objects can hold the largest stories, the greatest mysteries, and the most remarkable fortunes imaginable, making the 1968D penny not just a piece of currency, but a symbol of rarity, value, history, and the enduring human fascination with turning mistakes into masterpieces, an object that will forever be remembered and sought after in the annals of numismatic history.